Emily, can you tell me about the time you were asked to come to Ethiopia?
Yeah, so I was invited by a cardiologist, an Ethiopian cardiologist, to come out there and help teach the nurses more modern medicine because the current situation there, they were shipping children with congenital heart defects to other countries that could perform the surgery. They didn't have that in Addis Ababa, the capital of
The
Ethiopia.
technology.
The technology. They didn't have that in this city. So the physician, who was Ethiopian, studied in America, but basically brought his knowledge to open up a hospital and was looking for nurses from America to come and help teach his nurses and bring them up to speed. So my first impressions of Africa were obviously the starving children posters I saw
Yeah.
as kids, and so
Yeah.
I'm thinking like I'm gonna be doing work like in it is a third world country, but it was very different when I got there. It felt like obviously what you could visually see sometimes was third world, but the hospitality from the nurses, from the taxi driver, from any waiter at a restaurant was just so something in their eyes was just so grateful that you're there, so accepting of you, so just really open and opening us into their. We got invited to go to their houses for dinner, and they just really celebrated. It's an event to have someone in your house, and it just the way that felt was very honoring and very special. And towards the end of our teaching sessions there, the nurses, the physician invited us over for a raw meat ceremony, which I thought nothing of it, but what I heard later from the nurses was, this is a big deal. They only do this for weddings, like very special occasions, very, not just a holiday. And the nurses were so excited to be invited to the doctor's house to have this raw meat, and of course I tried it and it tastes like raw meat, but then they presented us with a Ethiopian cross, a very complicated, intricate little cross, and they told us that what that meant to them was that God will always protect you. And just the feeling I got from their overall hospitality was the warmest of any country I think I've ever been in.
So, from seeing starving children, which do exist in Africa and parts of Africa, as your only story about Africa, to sitting at a table of an actual Ethiopian families, what was that learning experience like for you?
You know, I think it just opened up the doors to me that it's like we live in this world where we just don't know. And once I was sitting in their home, I felt like it was in like my grandma's home, a home where it's warm, where it's comforting. Children were playing. It just and I could see that they didn't have a lot. It is visual in that country, but they celebrate and they invite you and they make you a part of it, and they I'm sure that they might have even been sacrificing for us, but they took such pride in what they were doing. So
And that meant a lot to you, yeah.
oh yeah, and their work ethic and it was awesome. Opened up a lot of things for me.
Thanks, Emily.
Yeah.